This is I suggest becoming homeless video. As many of you know, I was homeless and living in my van for a while, and it's a remarkably good choice if you want to have more security, oddly enough, um, and save up a lot of money. Um, at the time that I was living homeless, isn't that great? At the time I was homeless, I had 3 steady jobs and a couple other jobs that did pickup work. And by pickup work, it meant they hired me like twice a week. So I was working all the time. So money was not an issue. It was a sense of wanting more security, and that was going to require more money, and I wanted a lot of money fast. And also, I loved the whole independence of it as well. Like, I might decide to drive my van anywhere and camp. Might be close to work. Might drive out national forest. I bought like a $300 kayak, which was great for put it on top of the vehicle, fill full of like your gear, so that it opens up your van, so there's not as much stuff in there. And I love that about the simplicity of living in your vehicle. And often I would just drive to the river, throw my boat in the water, paddle over to an island, and as long as you're camped below the high water mark, it's legal to camp on the rivers. And I would do that several times a week if I didn't have to be somewhere first thing in the morning. Yeah, you get yourself cheap storage. Put all your stuff in there so you could like get out things as you need it. The right clothing, the right gear for whatever you're doing that week. Get a cheap gym membership. I can't remind. I had like an insane deal. I bought like two year blocks of membership at 24 Hour Fitness, and it was nothing. Like basically, it was like pennies a day, which was pretty fantastic. Um, so you take care of all your basics like that. And actually, I had so much extra income, I was eating out way too much. But it was nice. Like living like a lifestyle is considered a poor lifestyle. I had way more money. I was able to entertain myself more easily. I didn't have to. I wasn't thinking like, oh well, I went out to eat a couple nights this week. I better like stay home and cook something, over the camp stuff. No, I'm like, I'm gonna go out to a bar, have a couple drinks, and have a delicious, juicy hamburger that probably has like 1,000 calories. Uh, I found if you're careful and thoughtful, you could find great places to sleep that where no one ever bothers you. Um, one of my favorite places was staying at a boat dock, a marina, and you have a membership there. It was $35 for a year, and basically just for parking. But there was bathrooms there, water, trash, recycling, picnic tables, a park-like atmosphere, and also right on the water. So when I did get that $300 kayak, excuse me, I would often just head out into the river. Like it was, despite working constantly, it was often quite like a vacation as well. And when I was looking for a house and I was having trouble, there are like trailer parks that aren't really trailer parks; they're more like RV parks, where you could live year round if you want, and you could have actually those tiny homes on wheels, really deluxe ones. Some of them you could have like a wooden home on a trailer, like delivered there. So you could actually go right back to, if you like, you could become homeless and go right back to living in a really nice home. I like the idea of having like a tiny little house that you have built, and it's not too bad. It was like, I want to say it's like in the $30,000, $40,000 range, but it has everything, all like fantastic plumbing, wiring, indirect lighting, fantastic, just gorgeous. But you could go, like one of my friends went for a really expensive RV that he lives in, and like the thing has a fireplace in there. It's just insane, and it costs a lot of money, but he lives cheaply, and also it counts as a dwelling. So the interest he pays on that is tax deductible, which is fun. Um, I think so. Like it takes like some research and some forethought, but no matter where you are, I feel certain you could find a great place to live off the grid, so to speak. And they have those really sweet camper vans that you could park on the street with that do have fold-down beds or bunks in the ceiling, refrigerators and stuff like that. Like you could go pretty deluxe if you have the opportunity, and then get rid of the fact that, like, you know, you're paying rent someplace. I'd rather make payments on an expensive camping van than I would pay rent at an apartment or renting a house or something like that. Rent's theft, man. You're just throwing money away. You're paying somebody else's mortgage for them, and it seems wrong. It seems kind of insane, actually. So it'd be better to get a loan to go buy a really nice RV and then pay less rent by living in an RV park. But it was a good lifestyle, and you know what? Actually, I thought there would be like negative connotations involved in that, but like I thought people would treat me worse. But really, people were more caring and thoughtful because they thought things were bad for me. They didn't realize how much money I was making, because you have to live really super simple, you know, and so like living really simply, and people treating you nice, and you finding some fun places to stay. Like, actually, when I built the tiny house and I was living in that, there was like 3 or 4 months, I think it might have been 4 months long, where I just, every day I got off work, I drove straight up to the mountain and camped every night for 4 months. And that was kind of fun because I could set up a bunch of tents and live a little bit more larger, have more of my possessions out there, fill a ton of coolers up full of ice, and I had more access to food and cooking in my dishes. It was good times. So I hardly recommend it. I think that the vast majority of people will treat you well, and you'll save up money, or the money you do put into, say, payments will go towards that sweet RV that you buy, or that sweet van that's you can do kind of stealth camping in the city. That's basically it. I say do it. Give it a try. I mean, the worst that could happen is you'll save up a ton of money and eventually put a down payment on a house. That's where I ended up going wrong.